Welcome to Go and Glow, an inspiring show for the beautiful and brave with Natasha Cole.
Hi guys, welcome to Go and Glow. I'm your host, Natasha Cole. Thank you so much for listening to this episode and downloading it, and thank you for subscribing to my blog. And if you hadn't been over there yet, it's goandglowproject.com. Hop on over there. Make sure you subscribe to get on my emailing list so you can get all of the fun announcements and the things that I'm working on. You can also check out Go and Glow TV on the blog. And you can find out about my Monday night Go and Glow Power Hours, where we talk about marketing and branding and personal development strategies for yourself and for your business. So, and that's Monday night, by the way. If you have not been on those calls, we have a lot of fun. It's a teleclass that I teach every week, and I've just met so many amazing women and people in general from that call, and I've got some great clients from that call. So if you are building your business and you'd like to get some tips and techniques, you can call in on Monday night. So yeah, hop on over to my blog at goandglowproject.com for more information on that. They're absolutely free. And a shout out to my Atlanta listeners. If you are living in Atlanta, on next Saturday, January 31st, myself and Courtney Sanders from thinkandgrowchick.com, I love her, by the way, we're teaching a masterclass for women entrepreneurs here in Atlanta. And we are going to be, teaching branding strategies and marketing strategies, marketing to millennials. We're going to be talking about how to prioritize your side hustle over your 9-to-5 and just designing your life and your business. And so we're going to be here in Atlanta for about 3.5 hours. And we're thankful to Nordstrom's because they're going to host our event for us, and we're just going to have so much fun. So if you're in the Atlanta area, go to this website, launchyourlifeatl.eventbrite.com. And let's just say you're in Birmingham or Montgomery, grab one of your girlfriends, hop on 85, have an epic road trip. Come on down. It's a Saturday. You guys can have some fun with us. And then it's Atlanta, so you're going to have fun in the city regardless. And join us and, just learn how to build your business and to brand yourself. So again, that website is launchyourlifeatl.eventbrite.com. And it's also on my website as well. So get your tickets. We will see you on Saturday. And we're just really excited to meet you. So again, thanks in advance for that, especially to my Atlanta listeners. And as you guys know, just the entire Go and Glow project is an epicenter for motivation and inspiration. And it's a resource to discover our passion and our purpose and to live out loud and to just shine our lights and do amazing things and have amazing experiences. And what I love about the Go and Glow podcast is I get to highlight amazing people who are just shining their lights and, going and glowing in the world. And today I have a special guest who is just the epitome of giving back to the community and using her gift and her business to empower other people. So I have Arnita Johnson on the line, and she's an entrepreneur. She is a certified credit consultant. She owns multiple businesses, actually, and she's going to tell us about both of them today. But she's helping people restore their credit so that they could buy their dream homes. She's empowering women to start their businesses and land their dream jobs and do all those things that they want to do, but they don't necessarily have the education, the credit education to do that. And she's just given away a lot of information about credit repair and credit education, and I'm really excited to have her on the line. I have learned so much through her website and her services, and so I'm glad to have her on the show. Please welcome Arnita Johnson. Hi, Arnita.
Hi, Natasha. Thank you for having me on. Such an honor.
You are so welcome. I'm just excited that you get to educate the listeners today. I think that everyone is going to get something really important out of this conversation. I think this conversation is important to have, especially for our generation, especially for our culture, and especially for women. So tell us a little bit about A&B Credit Consulting and Luxurious Credit.
Okay. Well, A&B Credit Consultants is a certified credit consultant agency that has been around for 7 years. And when I started the company, I suffered from bad credit several years ago. However, the flip side of that was I knew the importance of having good credit. My mother has always had good credit, and our graduation gifts to me and my little brother when we graduated high school were 700 credit scores because she nurtured our credit, while we were young. So my brother took really good care of his credit. I totally screwed mine up, and, I was told that within 7 years, all of the damage that I had done would be removed from my credit report, and I would get that fresh start. Well, within that 7-year time frame, I ended up having a child. I had applied for a job that my friend tried to get me on, and I lost the opportunity to get that job because I failed a credit check. So for me, I wanted to, that was my time, and for me to say, well, you know what, I need to finally do something about my credit. Waiting 7 years is just far too long. And when I put my credit report, I was just devastated at what I saw, and at that time, it felt like my bad credit was a reflection of me. And, of course, I felt, who would hire me, in a finance industry with credit like that? I can't even take care of my finances, but yet I'm trying to work in a field to where I'm trying to help someone else with theirs. So I went into a credit repair company at that time, and they did nothing for my credit. And then I started working for a car dealership, and they basically, helped me about how to actually repair my credit and to study the Fair Credit Reporting Act laws. And then that's when I said, no one knows this stuff. Like, who in their right mind even have the time, with work and children and school to actually sit down and repair their own credit? Who can even read their own credit reports? It took me months to even get that down. So that's pretty much how A&B Credit Consulting started. I wanted to show people the importance of credit, and then to educate them, on their credit consumer laws, and then also show them that having good credit is a life changer and that it works. So after being in business for 5 years, and, business was going really well, we were really good, at word of mouth. But I wanted to basically target minorities, because reading different stats and studying different research studies, minorities, especially African American women, we are the one who suffer the most when it comes to bad credit and not having good financial habits. So I thought to myself, well, I'll just start a blog, and I would just talk about myself and what, my journey of having bad credit on a personal level, and how great it has and beneficial it has been for me. And after that was when the blog pretty much made a spinoff, and that's how the two ended up, coming together.
Awesome. So you were able to kind of inject your personal story into your blog, and people, it made you more relatable, and people were...
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's so awesome. I think too, because I think what's awesome about that is, I don't know, there's something about maybe just credit, just the word can be a little bit intimidating. So, if you can kind of put a face with someone who's walked your path, or, been through what you've been through, yeah, it makes the conversation a little easier to have, right?
Absolutely. And it also gives people the opportunity to see, hey, not only is she like me, but she has a solution to the problem. And credit is the elephant in the room. It's so taboo. No one wants to talk about it, and I make it worth talking about. I want to engage and empower and encourage, hey, I have bad credit now, but I won't within the next 6 months, the next 9 months. As long as I'm working to improve it, then my situation right now will eventually be a thing of the past.
Awesome. You are my first guest to have $1 million company, to having to run $1 million company. And I'm just so excited about that because I think that we need to see more African American women running these uberly successful companies, and just tell us a little bit about that journey and, what's it like to run $1 million company, and what is it like to go from having nothing to having the success that you have?
It is definitely a life changer. It's not something that I envisioned. I grew up, lower middle class. I grew up in, you have to graduate and get a job and, then work to get Social Security. And I just said, man, this can't be for me. After I lost my last job, I was a single mother of a 2-year-old daughter at the time, and I worked from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Then had to be at school from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., and I was missing on my daughter's life, and I was like, this just can't be for me. So when I lost my job, that was pretty much that I'm not going back. And I was saying, well, what could I do? What could I get into? And that is when I'm like, well, you know what? I've repaired my own credit. I've repaired my family and friends' credit. Maybe I should get into this. And the word of mouth, it just started to spiral at that point because it was, and I want to say this, the credit repair industry is very tainted. It is seen as a scam. It is marketed as a scam. The media, the first thing they want to tell you is you do not need to go to a credit repair company. Anything that you can do, that a credit repair company can do, you can do it yourself. That's almost with anything. We can mow our own yards. We can do our own hair. We can detail our own cars. We can pull our own teeth and grow our own food. Yet we choose to go to a professional. So I just said, well, you know what? I'm just going to see how it works. And I never imagined that it will grow into, $1 million company. I never envisioned that. But now that I have, envisioned it, or now that it has happened, you just want to keep it going and keep it growing. And it's nothing that we have continued to do the same thing, but and just expand, meaning hire more staff. Now you have more money, for marketing. Now you have more money to hire more people. Now you have more money to order supplies. So once you start making a certain amount of money, the money does continue to make itself. And I know a lot of people get confused by it because I didn't understand it either. But it just seems now that the money just flows in, and it's still amazing to me because I grew up, after I had my daughter and lost my job, I did hit hard times, and I was on government assistance, and I didn't think that I was going to ever come out of it. So to come from, food stamps and Medicaid and to now being able to have a custom built home, and it all started from an idea, it's now like the sky's the limit. Does that make sense?
It does, absolutely. And I also think because you are actually helping people, that passion, you know what I mean? Like that passion allows.
Yes. Doing something that you love. So it's not necessarily work for me. I love helping people. I love meeting new people. That's, the crazy thing is I remember asking God a couple of years ago, what is my purpose? Why do you have me here? What should I be doing? And when I asked that question to him is when I realized a lot of times we ask him questions that we already have the answer to. I am a nurturer. I have always been a nurturer. I have always helped people. So all I needed to do was to turn that passion into a paycheck.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's just so powerful. I think, and that's the thing, like we operate so much more passionately when we are doing something that we can just, we can tell we're impacting people and we're changing lives, and we get these testimonials, and
Yes.
people are just, I just think that is just, like you say, it doesn't even feel like work. It's like, I would do it for free if I could. I'm not going to, but I love it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So then let's talk about, I guess, some testimonials that you've had from some clients, or, some lives that you've changed. What's like something that you've been able to help someone achieve?
I literally have thousands of testimonials. It even crushed me a couple of weeks ago. I keep my testimonials in my phone because it's like motivational and it's a spiritual feeding for me. And my phone broke, and I lost literally like hundreds and thousands of testimonials and pictures. So I had put on Instagram, like how upset I was about, losing this, those testimonials. And so many of my clients and past clients emailed me their testimonials, and they text them to me. They were like, hey, well, I have one. I still have mine. So it was just that, feeling of, wow, we call our testimonials praise reports. And I used to have like a testimonial of the day. But a client sent in a praise report. She was like, I'm just so thankful. I'm giving God praises. I found you guys and you have helped me. And from then on, we called our testimonials praise reports. I'm really big on God. I love God. He's been wonderful for me, has always been. And I just wanted to give something back to him, that my clients have given to me. So I have so many testimonials, but the ones that have really always stuck with me, there was one young lady when she first enrolled. She had 5 children, and I didn't know this until after, she got her credit fixed or whatever. But she had 5 children. She was going through a divorce. Her husband pretty much had everything in his name, and when they separated, she had nothing. And someone referred her to me, and she was very skeptical, and I just told her, hey, stick with it. It really works. And afterwards, she was able to put her daughter through college. She ended up moving into her own home and just basically getting her independence. So credit for her allowed her the independence to not only take care of herself, but to provide for her children. And I get a lot of those testimonials. I get testimonials from, women who said, at one point in time they were homeless, living in their cars or living in hotel rooms. I had one client email me and said that she graduated college, and her whole purpose was to go to college and graduate to start her career, to live her life. And she had the degree, but her bad credit was causing her to not get qualified for jobs. And immediately after finishing our program, she found a job, a career. So those type of testimonials, they just, they go all over me, and it's just so many of them that I'm flooded literally daily with praise reports from my clients. And, the ones that stick with me the most are the ones from those who never thought that they would ever have good credit or ever thought that they would have good credit again. Those always stick with me the most.
That's fantastic. So would you say that your target demographic is you have more females as your clients?
Absolutely. Yes. My target market is African American women between the ages of 22 and 36. Okay. Single mothers, entrepreneurs, pretty much women like myself. So it's funny how it goes together, because I started the blog to talk about myself, but then ended up, getting a target market of women just like me, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And then, okay, so could you give us 3 tips to maintaining good credit? And let's just talk about what's a good score to have. Like what are jobs looking for? What are the banks looking for? What keeps you in the clear and keeps you
Okay. Okay. I focus more. I'm going to answer the question kind of in the middle. I'm going to start with the credit score. In my opinion, and from thousands of clients that I have serviced, and even myself, you want to focus on the credit report as opposed to the credit score. I know everyone says, I want my credit score to increase. I want my credit score to increase. But your credit score is calculated from the information that is on your credit report. So you really want to work it backwards. And that is focus on correcting your credit report, making sure that your credit report has nothing but 100% accurate and verifiable information. That is the law. So you always want to make sure that you have a good credit report, because your credit report is what causes the credit score to increase. So typically, a good credit score would be a 620, and the reason why I say 620 is because if you are trying to apply for a FHA mortgage, they pretty much want you to be around the 620 mark. So you always want to, try to shoot for at least a 620, but of course, a great credit score is a 700, and that is what you call prime A1, tier 1 credit. So that's when you're starting going into the no money down. You're starting to talk the best interest rates ever. Sometimes no interest at all, for a duration of time. So you want to work your way. Once you get into your 620, you want to stabilize and nurture your credit so that you can eventually walk into the 700s. Of course, the credit bureaus, they do not want you to have good credit because they make money off of bad credit. So the worse your credit report, the more inaccurate the credit report, the more profitable it becomes to the credit bureaus, because of course they sell your credit reports to lenders, to creditors, to direct mailing lists, to employers. So of course, the worse that credit report, the more profitable it becomes because they can sell it, for more money. So what lenders and employers look for is stability and timely payment. They want to know how long you have had the account and how do you manage the account. Do you pay the account on time? Do you max the credit cards out? Do you keep your credit to debt ratio low? Never, ever, ever surpass 30 days late on a loan or a credit card. Never. One 30-day late payment takes 12 months to repair itself. And the reason being is lenders want to know, what are you doing right now? How do you pay your bills right now? Because you're trying to obtain money from me right now. You're trying to get a loan from me right now. So I want to know, how are you going to pay me back? What is the likelihood of you paying me back? That's the only thing lenders want to see. Also, lenders and creditors, they are very forgiving. So let's say, for example, you have a whoopsie or whatever, and you surpass 30 days late, or a card charges off. As long as you are reestablishing credit, again, that credit report is going to nurture itself, which will in turn cause the credit score to increase. That's what lenders want to see. They want to invest in you. They want to make money off of you. They want to extend credit to you, but they also want to know the likelihood of you paying them back and paying them back on time. I always say it like this. We always have that friend or family, that one person in our family that is known for borrowing money but never pay back, or they never pay it back on time. So if that person comes up to you and asks to borrow money from you, the first thing you're going to think of is the other people that he or she did not pay on time or did not pay, period. What's the chances of you lending them money? Probably none. So that's the way I want you to see it, from a lender standpoint as well.
Well, those are amazing tips. Thank you so much for sharing those with us. Tell us a little bit about what it feels like to actually go out in the community and to different talks and events and, spread the word and educate these women face to face. What has that done for your business, and, how's it feel to actually impact people in person?
Sure. It's an amazing feeling. It's a wonderful feeling. And it's definitely a great feeling to inspire to expire. It's definitely before you expire. So I feel like my calling is to now go out and speak to people and prove to them, this is a proving society that we live in. And it's okay, yeah, you say I can have good credit, but prove it. Show me, who else have you done? And that's basically what my mission is, to not just show them, but to prove it. Okay, well, this is the reason why it is capable for you to live this lifestyle, because I'm doing it, so-and-so is doing it. And here are the laws that backs up what I am saying. So one thing that I want to provide to people is a resource. There's a lot of people, out there, and they can say one thing, but there's nothing supporting the claim. So I always want to support and research and have a resource, for someone to go back on so that they can study it upon themselves. One of my biggest things is I don't sell my business. I do not have a sales department. I think that's another reason why we are able to grow as fast and profit, because we don't spend too much money in sales. We don't cold sell. I feel like credit is something that you must have, and if you need assistance with it, we can provide it for you. So when I go out and teach these classes, it's really big on education, and inspiring them to let them know that, hey, this can indeed happen for me too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I just want to ask you, have you thought about writing a book? Because it sounds like your story is just so powerful, and I bet, that could be another platform for you. I mean, you've just got so many great tips to give people.
Yes. I have actually thought about it. Well, it wasn't necessarily thought about it. People have asked, I get emails, what keeps you inspired? What keeps you motivated? What keeps you going? And I'm like, people really want to know that, So I'm still going through that moment of people really want to know what I do on a day-to-day basis. I'm pretty much in gym sweats, all of the time. So,
it's not as glamorous as it looks.
No, it's not. And what's even funny is, if I go somewhere and, someone recognizes me, I'm always like, I'm really laid back, and, I put the heels on when I have to work, but trust me, as soon as I walk out, I am putting on flip-flops or tennis shoes, But, yeah, I'm definitely, hopefully, by April, I will have a book out, and I definitely feel like I want to show people that if I can run $1 million company, if I can start $1 million company, if I can be able to live a lifestyle of buying whatever I want when I want it, if I can get to the point where when I make money is when I now realize that money is really money, it's nothing, then anyone can do it. And when I say anyone, I'm speaking of me. I don't want to preach, but I have to go back and just talk about, I was raised in a household where my mother did the best that she could for us with what she had. And I just remember her instilling great things in me, and shielding me. But once I graduated and, I got into the dating world and hanging around who I thought were the fun friends and the cool friends. I had a major backslide. I started hanging around people and dating guys that were definitely not for me, and my mentality changed to where I feel like, oh, wow, it's cool to do nothing. It's absolutely okay to be comfortable with what you have. And the low self-esteem, the depression comes with that because it's that urge of wanting more because you know that wanting more has been instilled in you. Good things have been instilled with you, but now you have gotten conditioned to being content with the wrong things or being okay with less than. So for me, the mental mind frame, so when I talk about things that I didn't have or what I lacked, it was the mental mind frame of me never thinking or imagining that I could live the way I live now. And I remember just 4 years ago getting in my car and driving to a neighborhood that I just remember driving down the street saying, wow, I could never live like this. How do people like this live? What do they do? I don't think I could ever do this. And I was already speaking that in the universe. Like, I'm already telling myself, don't even try it. You'll never live like that. So now to be having a custom-built home in the exact same neighborhood that I drove in just 4 years ago, saying that I could never live like that, is just astonishing and amazing to me. And it's the power of God that has said to me, even when I felt that I couldn't be any better than what I was then, he was already setting that platform for me now. So I think that's the only reason why I would write a book, just to show people that wherever you are now, that is not where you are designed to be. But you will continue to be there if you continue to talk those negative things into yourself. Then yes, it will exist. If you feel that you can't do it, you can't do it. But as soon as you step outside of that, is when you have now opened the doors to the possibilities of increasing and enhancing your life. So I know that people feel like, and to me still, being able to just buy whatever I want when I want to, or not have to worry about, disconnection notice is coming in the mail, or having to get a payday loan, or going to a check cashing store. These are things that I used to do. So it's like an out-of-body experience, honestly, to witness this, to witness my family being able to have, majority of my family and friends work with me. And I don't say for me because I'm a team. I'm nothing without them. So I've put my family and friends in homes. I'm able to travel with them. I'm able to share my spiritual riches and my physical wealth with them. So now they're able to provide for their families off of something that I thought was never possible. So I guess putting that in a book and sharing that, with the word that little bitty girl with the self-esteem who feels like she can't do nothing, or in an abusive relationship and feel like she can't, trust me, I've been through it all, and I just want to share that story, and that's when I say if I can overcome it, anyone can. I mean, it's no excuse. It really isn't. There's no such thing.
That is, girl, you are just so inspiring. And I'm thinking you can write more than one book. You've got so much material. You could write a self-help book. You could write a, how to get your credit better book. You can write you can write an autobiography. I mean, you've got content, girl. You are like, God really poured into you, and now you're able to pour into other people. So I just really admire that you're able to use those gifts
Thank you.
just to change lives and stuff. I think that's fantastic. So
Absolutely.
where do you see your company in 5 years, or what's the next level for you?
I see my company in 5 years being a multi-million-dollar company. Now that my company is $1 million company, I say to myself, well, great. Then my next goal is for everyone that is staffed at my company to all have $1 million. I'm not just the CEO, that's the label that I have, but everyone here plays a huge part. And I want them to feel as much as that, as possible. And I want everyone who enrolls in our program to feel, just that. And I want them to, refer family and friends so that they can also experience, the power of having good credit. So in the next 5 years, I want A&B Credit Consultants to be the brand of a life-changing experience. And I want A&B Credit Consultants to be an international household name. And as of right now, I'm trying to study Canadian laws so that we can start accepting Canadian clients. I have people from the UK contacting me asking could I help them. And trust me, understanding the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which is the U.S. credit consumer law, is hard to get down. Imagine understanding the laws in different countries. So that's my goal for A&B Credit Consultants, within the next 5 years is, for it to be a multi-million-dollar company and for it to be a household name internationally. I want to repair everyone's credit. I want everyone to have good credit. I just read an article where Experian, which is one of the largest credit reporting agencies, their sales has increased, their revenue has increased 5%. They are a $2.3 billion company. So why can't 2.3 billion people have good credit? Because we are the ones making them money. So they need to feel our wrath as well. And that wrath is we are educated consumers, and we're no longer going to take your crap. You are no longer going to make money off of our erroneous credit reports. I'm going to take a stand. You lenders are not going to make money off of my bad credit because of high interest rates and having to put down deposits. No, I want to be able to walk in any lender industry and be able to put down less than 5%. And I want everyone to be able to experience that. I want everyone to be able to have good financial credit habits or spending habits and buying habits so that we can leave a legacy down for our children or our families. So my big thing is just basically showing these high agencies that we are taking a stand and we are no longer taking your crap. For the last time, you have gotten over on me, and I am not going to pay you any more money than what I should because my credit report is my reputation. So if I can get the entire world to understand that, then I can leave here and be like, I done my job.
That's all right. I just love the fact that you are also able to empower people to have the conversation and to not be ashamed and to talk about it. And, it's just like so many other things that go on in our community that we kind of sweep under the rug. Like your company is able to bring this conversation to the forefront and make people kind of take a stand for themselves and their businesses and their money and their financial reputation. So, I just thank you so much for coming on. And
no, thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. So I want people to be able to find you and, get your services. And I know you're really big on Instagram too. If you could give us your social media handles and your websites. And I also want to tell everyone that the company is M, and that's M as in, I guess, money, B, because I'm not sure if it's coming out sounding like A-N-B. So it's A-M-B Credit Consultant. So go ahead and give us some ways that we can contact you and we can follow you.
Okay, great. If you're interested in following me, social media, I can be found on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Luxurious Credit. And if you are interested in receiving our services, that website is ambcreditconsultants.com. That is A as in Apple, M as in Mary, B as in boy, credit.com. And if you would like to stay posted and read my blog, that is at www.luxuriouscredit.com.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for being a guest, Arnita. And for those of you who are not following me on Instagram, I am Natasha Cole _. And if you'd like to follow my brand, it's Go and Glow _. And again, thank you guys for listening to this podcast. And don't forget to tell your girlfriends about it, because even if you are an aspiring entrepreneur or you are an entrepreneur, there's so many tips and jewels from these lovely women that I have on as guests. So, and also on Monday nights, again, I mentioned this earlier in the call, we do our Go and Glow Power Hour, and I'd love for you to join in on that. And that telephone number is 530-881-1212, and that access code is 433-149-486. And to get more updates, you can just go to my blog at goandglowproject.com. We're also on Facebook, facebook.com/goandglowproject. So we would love to, have you follow our journey. And if you know any other empowering women like Arnita that I need to have on this show, who is an entrepreneur or who is just doing something philanthropic and wonderful for the community, email me. You can get in contact with me through my blog, or you can email me at goandglowproject@gmail.com. Okay, guys, thanks so much for listening. And don't forget to come and check us out on Saturday, January 31st for our Launch Your Life event. Until the next episode, go and glow.